welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So I'm finally starting a stream on time. And here we are. So I'm in different places. Sorry I wasn't able to do the stream yesterday on the second channel. I was traveling yesterday. And here we are today, guys. We'll be doing our Gold Cup semifinal reactions to this year's edition. So I will also drop my final match preview later today. So hope you guys do enjoy that. And this will be a short stream, guys. I'm not going to do this for very long. I'm not even home. I'm in Jacksonville right now. So, obviously, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Obviously, this will be short and sweet. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. So let me go see what you guys are saying in the chat. And yeah, maybe I need to make a community tab post since we don't really have anyone here. So, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Gear Mapping says hi. Philippe Econd says yo. All right. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get in, and then we'll start with the first match we have. Is USA versus Panama. All right. Fellow Jack fan, yes. Mark my words, Panama are making the next World Cup. Yeah, they're in a great position to do so. Great position. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I don't think we're going to have a lot of people here today, so we'll still do it anyway. So let's talk about USA versus Panama. Let me go ahead and get my screen up. Oh, I forgot I need to do this. Let me do something real quick, guys. This always happens to me. Let me make... Oh, by the way, guys, you may hear some background noise in the background. So I'll hopefully try and make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, there's a possibility. Okay, anyways, let me just go to the foot model. Okay, so where's the Gold Cup? Right here. I'm going to get the screen up right here. So USA won, Panama won. Now, let me share my screen here. Right here. So, for this game, guys, it was a very, very underwhelming game. Like, most of this game, guys, was terrible, And I think for Panama, they were the better team. They scored 2 disallowed goals, and they even possibly could have had a penalty right at the end, for a handball there, And I just think for the United States, man, we looked so bad. We didn't have any attacking momentum whatsoever. We weren't able to create any attacking opportunities. And Panama, they defended well. My only concern with Panama, though, is that they missed so many chances. That's the only concern I have for if you're a Panamanian. All right, very sorry about that, guys. Like I said, guys, when you're on vacation, going to someone else's house, obviously, these kind of things can happen out of your control. So I'm sorry I had to do that real quick, unexpectedly. Anyways, as I was saying, the United States Panama just missed too many chances. And that's my only concern, is that if you're a Panama fan, you should be worried about how many chances you missed in this game. Because for me, they dominated us. They were the much better team. You can even see right here where their big chances missed. 3 chances missed, 2 big chances. They had much better accurate passes. And the United States, as I said, it was really like a lot of chances we had to create were pretty much like crossing the ball into the box. And it just wasn't effective, And let's talk about that first goal. That first goal was fantastic from the defender there. Anderson scoring the goal there, brilliant goal. Matt Turner, you could have argued he should have done better there with that goal. Then Jesus Ferreira, man, he just scored out of nowhere. A nice volley there. Obviously, Jordan Morris got the assist. And I even said during this thing is that Jesus Ferreira is not that great. And I always stand by that. And I was actually going to apologize to him. I even told my friend that, or my cousin, I suppose, that if he scores in this game, I will apologize to him. And he did score. However, he missed his penalty. So ultimately, my judgment hasn't really changed anything. He's really not been that amazing, you know. And I just feel like for me, when the going gets tough, we didn't really do well in this Gold Cup. And like I said, we brought a terrible squad to this Gold Cup anyway. You know, we brought like a C team roster, and these are the kind of results you can get. And we can't just expect the USA to repeat after what they did in 2021, because that 2021, in my opinion, was a miracle. We were lucky to win that Gold Cup. We shouldn't even have won that Gold Cup. Like, let's be real. Matt Turner was fantastic in that Gold Cup, and that's the only reason why we managed to win it. Because otherwise, if Matt Turner wasn't that great, we wouldn't have won that Gold Cup 2021. So for Panama, man, you know, this is history in the making. Your third ever CONCACAF final appearance. And like I said, man, it's going to be interesting to see if they could win that final. I hope they can. You know, a new winner will be awesome. And especially against Mexico in the final, which we'll get to in a bit, it will be a very, very nice story. So do you guys have any other talking points on this game? Because like I said, guys, Panama, man, they were amazing this game. They were amazing. You know, they scored almost right at the end there. It was an offside goal. And then I think they even was a thing called, they even had another offside goal, I think. I forgot when it was that one, but I remember they had another offside goal. So, like I said, guys, Panama for me, man, they're on the rise. And I think this nation is probably one of the best contenders to qualify for the next World Cup. I think they're probably the fourth strongest team right now in CONCACAF, just behind the big three, of course. So let me go ahead and read your comments and messages in the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. Bulgaria Map saying we still beat Canada. Well, technically we did on penalties, not in regular time. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sebastian said, thoughts on Balogun linked to join Inter or AC Milan? Who you think he should join? Personally, for me, it's a difficult call. I would probably say it's difficult, man. I don't know, man. I guess I would say probably Milan, AC Milan more, simply because they need a young striker, you know. And you know, with Inter, they already have Lautaro. And I know they play with two striker formations, whereas with Milan, they don't really have a backup striker. You know, so and you know, obviously Zlatan is gone as well. So I think it would be, I think for his perspective, I think Milan would make more sense. Plus, he could also link it well with Pulisic. So yeah, I would probably say Milan is probably better for him, personally. Bulgaria saying no chance Canada don't get grouped. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right. Let me ask you guys this question in the chat. Do you think this loss Yeah. So, by the way, guys, Carlo, I believe he got the winning penalty. He's been linked to leave Houston Dynamo, I believe. I think there's been rumors of him going to Brighton and maybe Rayo Vallecano this summer for his European for the performances he put in this year's Gold Cup. So, who knows? He might be able to get that big move, you know. And Sebastian just says Andred plays for LESK. All right, so before we move on to the next game, let me talk about players for this USA team that I was happy with and I wasn't happy with. I'm going to just go ahead and do this already here. Let's look at the squad here. So, Matt Turner, obviously, I was happy with him. In particular, he was amazing. I kind of wanted to see Gabriel Salina get more game time. I think that would have been awesome, you know, but it is what it is. Matt Turner is obviously a first-choice keeper. This isn't really up to date. As on all the whatever. We'll just get the players that didn't play. Aaron Long, obviously, I'm not happy with him. I don't want him to see in the roster anymore. This guy is terrible. Austin Trusty, I think he was okay. He was decent, I guess. I would say he had an okay tournament. Miles Robinson, guys, I don't know what happened to Miles. I was not happy with Miles Robinson whatsoever in this Gold Cup. And what's funny because I actually rate him very highly. It's just this edition, he was not good at all. You know, almost cost us against Canada. Got a yellow card against Panama. Just looks really shaky. He just doesn't look. I just don't feel like he's confident. He just has some errors in him. I can feel. Julian Gressel, not really happy with his performances. Not really. I didn't think it was great. James Sands, I thought he was okay. I think he would be a decent squad player for the first team, but he isn't good enough for the first team, obviously. I wouldn't mind him as a squad player, but yeah, this guy isn't really that great. He's decent, but that's about it. Brian Reynolds, I thought he was okay. Not really much to say there. Um, DeJohn Jones. I thought he was good. I like DeJohn Jones. I think DeJohn Jones for me is a great player, and I think we could all honestly. I wouldn't be too fussed if he's in the squad because we are kind of lacking the fullbacks, especially and left back in particular, because we don't really have a backup to Anthony Robinson. So I would honestly wouldn't be completely opposed if he's in the roster. John Token, I thought he was okay. And Jalen Neal, he looks promising, but I still feel like he needs to work on his decision making because there were some moments where I feel like he made the wrong pass and everything, but he is a prospect young center back. So I think he could definitely be someone. But like I said, he's not good enough for first team. And I think even like the reserves of the first team, I think is a bit of a stretch. So maybe if injuries happen to some of the big players like Richards, and obviously Carter Vickers and Tim Ream and these kind of players, then maybe he can be in. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We got Jackson Ewell. The guy is terrible. I don't really rate him. Georgia Milovic. He was okay, I guess. I thought he was all right. Gianluca Busio, I thought he was good. I think Gianluca Busio is one of the players I was happy with in this Gold Cup. Personally, for me, Alassanario, not great. Aiden Morris, not very good. I wasn't happy with him. Joao Lucas de Souza Cardoso. I think he played, I believe, in the Gold Cup. And I didn't really think it was anything special. Jordan Morris, I don't rate him. I'll be honest with you guys. Even though he got an assist against Panama, I don't really rate him. I don't think he's that great. Zendejas was terrible. I was not happy with Zendejas at all this Gold Cup. Christian Roldan was not good whatsoever. I mean, the fact he hasn't even scored for the United States is embarrassing, and he even misses a decisive penalty. Brandon Vasquez, I thought he was good. I think Brandon Vasquez, I think he could be a good player to have off the bench, but yeah, this guy isn't good enough for first team. And Jesus Ferreira, you guys already know how I feel about him. Don't really rate him that highly. Cade Coel, I wasn't really too happy with his performances, I'll be honest with you guys. And Taylor Booth, I don't even remember him doing anything. So, yeah, honestly, this Gold Cup, guys, I didn't really look. There wasn't really any player that stunned me per se. Like all of the play, there wasn't anyone that wowed me per se. Because most of these players that play in the Gold Cup shouldn't be in the USA roster in the future. So yeah. Bulgaria said, "Oh wait, if he's from Houston down, well, I hope he wins it." Dizzy says, "Shout out to Roldan." No, Roldan is a terrible player. I don't rate him whatsoever. James Sands did okay. Bulgaria mapping. Bulgaria mapping says Taylor Booth did okay. So, 80. Let's be real. Brandon Vasquez was outstanding. Like the guy was good. I'm not saying he wasn't good. I just don't know if he's good enough. I just feel like there's a lot of strikers ahead of him. Like you would probably say Balogun's ahead of him. You'd probably say Pepe's ahead of him, and possibly who else? Maybe Miss Sargent. Although I don't really rate Sargent very highly. So, like I said, I think he's a good player. It's just unfortunate there's already a lot of players ahead of him. That's the issue. Like Balogun and Pepe is clear. And even Jesus Ferreira might be clear. Maybe. So I personally prefer him over Jesus Ferreira because he's really good on the headers. And that's something that USA, we don't really have a lot of goal scorers. We don't really have a lot of players that can score their heads. So that's good. But my issue, as I said, though, is that I just don't know. I just think there's players ahead of him already, which is kind of unfortunate. So. So, yeah. All right. So make sure you guys smash the like button. How many likes are on? 6 likes, guys. Let's try to get it 10 likes, guys. 10 likes. Okay. All right. And yeah, obviously, guys, with this loss, guys, the era of BJ Callaghan is done. So we will no longer be the coach for the United States, and obviously, we're going to go back to Vibes FC. I didn't want to refer to the coach. You guys know what I'm talking about. So he will be back for the September edition, and I'm like, we should have just kept BJ Callaghan, to be honest with you guys. We really should have, but it is what it is. You know, he goes undefeated. You know, didn't even lose a single game for the United States, which is absolutely insane. So, as I said, man, it is what it is. All right. Anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next game. And okay. So, you guys are voting in the chat. Do you think it's lost for the USA's wake-up call? 4 people say yes, and 2 people say no. We don't have a lot of people, so I'm probably just gonna end the poll there. Let me give you guys my opinion before we move on to the next game. My opinion is that this loss for the United States doesn't really change anything in terms of the first team. I think what this shows is that we can't bring mediocre squads to the Gold Cup. We can't bring mediocre squads. I think that's what it tells, is that for the future is that we cannot be bringing a C team roster. Okay, so I just think that for me, for the United States, I don't think this was a really unnecessary. It's not going to change anything for the first team. I just think, though, it will change the players. Like, some of these players that played in the C team should never be part of the national team. You know, like, for example, I don't want to see Roldan ever again. I don't want to see Aaron Long. I don't want to see I forgot about DeAndre Yedlin and Miazga. I forgot about these 2 players. Let's just go over these 2 players real quickly. DeAndre Yedlin, the guy is average at best. Not really anything special. Matt Miazga, average as well. Not very special. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, for the United States, man, we shouldn't bring a C team roster for this. And the fact that we got to a semifinal finish with our C team roster is very, very crazy. Because, like I said, guys, in this Gold Cup, all we really did was beat St. Kitts and Nevis and Trinidad and Tobago. That's all we really did in this Gold Cup. Okay, every other game we tied. That's the facts, the reality. You know, so if the USA did win this Gold Cup, I think this might have been even more papers for the cracks. So it's actually kind of a good thing that we didn't, in my opinion. So, you know, like I said, guys, from the United States, man, hopefully we never see these kind of players to play again for the national team. All right, now let's talk about the Jamaica versus Mexico, and then we're going to go end the stream. So, actually, before we do that, let me read some of your comments. Hey, Desmond says, Bulgaria have a CD grade with the C team. If he had the A team, he would have did great. Bulgaria Mavs says it's not a wake up call, guys. It was a C team. We could beat Panama 3-0 with our A team. Mexico maybe even 4-0, man. Desmond really wanted it to be USA versus Mexico. I'll be honest with you guys, I was not looking forward to that final because we had that final two editions in a row, 2019, 2021. You know, so I feel like for me, like even if that final did happen, like it would have been a boring game. Like it would be either 1-0 or it could be like I wouldn't imagine it being a high scoring game. It would be like a 1-0 win, to be honest, for whichever team. You know, Bulgaria Mappa says Mexico versus USA would be boring because the USA would have won 1-0. Bulgaria Mappa says Jamaica versus Mexico is nothing to mention. I mean, we still have to discuss for formality reasons, but let's be real. This game was disappointing. Jamaica, man. This is why I don't rate Jamaica national team very highly. Because you look at the players in this first team. You look at the players here, guys. You have Bailey, Antonio. You have Damari Gray. You have Lowe, Bernard, Bell. And you're telling me you can't even score a single goal against Mexico? That's ridiculous. And a lot of these Mexico players, you have the likes of Chavez, Antuna, Gallardo, Sanchez, Montez, Vasquez, Ochoa, Bianda, Sanchez. And you're telling me you cannot score a single goal against Mexico. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace for Jamaica. The thing was with Mexico, guys, is that they always rise to the challenge. You know, and I think for Mexico, man, it was fantastic. They got an early start, great goal there from Henry Martin, and then that Chavi's free kick was amazing, and Alvarado scored in the 93rd minute. And what made me really disappointed with Jamaica was the fact of how easily bypassable they were in the midfield. And going back to that stream we had last week, where we had our stream, which we discussed about what's the hardest position in football. Midfield is very important. If you lose the midfield battle, it's hard to control the tempo of the game. It's hard to dictate passes, and it's hard to have any attacking momentum because your midfield's all over the place. And you can see with Jamaica, their midfield was terrible. You know, Lambert, Ladboguni wasn't good enough, you know, and their defense was disappointing. Andre Blake, he made 2 saves. This could have been a demolition. This could have been a 5-0, guys. And Ochoa, 3 saves. So, you know, I just think for Mexico, man, they're just looking very motivated. And I think this new coach, Jamie Lozano, has figured out this Mexico team. I will say this, though. I still don't know if this is going to really change my perspective of Mexico, whether they back or not, because for me, like I said, it's not like they're using, it's not like this is the Gold Cup for crying out loud. Gold Cup doesn't really change anything. What's going to really dictate to me whether they're back or not is what they do in the next edition of the Nations League and how they do leading up to Copa America. You know, that's going to be the real test here. So, like I said, you know, it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what Mexico does, and good luck to them, man, even as a USA fan. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be interesting. Let me read some of your messages in the chat. Dizzy said, Johan and Montiz has never received a goal when partnering with each other, by the way, AD. Oh, yeah, that is true. I think Mexico have kept all clean sheets in all their games with the exception of the Qatar game. And we have to put that in perspective. The Qatar game is that they didn't play their entire best team because they already had qualified to quarterfinals. So you got to put that in perspective. Honestly, guys, Mexico's looking good. I think Mexico and Panama have been the best 2 nations in this Gold Cup so far, you know. So it's going to be a good final tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. my time. And I'll definitely drop my final preview later today. But, yeah, for Mexico, man, they're looking good. They're looking great. But as I said, though, does this really change anything in the long-term future? We're going to have to wait and see. So, yeah. Let's see, you got the assist here. Is this here in the thing here? It doesn't say here. That said that Gallardo got the assist for the 3rd goal. So, yeah, I mean, I just think for Jamaica, man, it wasn't good enough for them. It wasn't good enough. And this is why I say, man, this national team just underwhelms. Like, they have so much talent on paper, and they could just never get it together. Like, in terms of talent, I would say this right now. They're probably the best roster in the Gold Cup, you know? So, yeah. Gallardo got 2 assists. Well, it says only 1 assist here in the football thing. Let me see. Let me click here. Yeah, it only says 1 assist. I'm not sure why. Whatever the case is, Mexico absolutely demolished Jamaica. So, all right, let's do a poll for the Mexico one, guys. Let me see what you guys say in the chat. Is Mexico back now? Let's see. Let's see what you guys say in the chat. I still don't think they're back yet. Just for me personally, because like I said, guys, this is a Gold Cup, so you can't really look too much into this, you know. Let's see though. What do you guys say? Okay, so 2 of you guys say no. 1 person says yes. Bulgarian map says yes, they are. All right. Bulgarian. Yes, they are. All right. Ooh, we still have 2 all. Okay, in the votes. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes. We're reaching the 26-minute mark, so I'm gonna be in the stream in a couple of minutes. So if you guys have any last-minute things to say, now is the time to say. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look. Let's go look at that final tomorrow. Let's go do a little preview. Let's go look at the head-to-head record. Just why not? So Mexico's got 10 wins, 3 draws, and 2 wins for Panama. The last time Panama actually beat Mexico was in 2013. Yeah, 2013 was the last time Panama defeated Mexico. You can see that all the recent games have been close. There's not been a huge winner. I'm looking from 2020 onwards. So like I said, Mexico are definitely the favorites. Mexico is definitely the favorites for tomorrow's final. So, who knows? Panama could achieve history. Gray was so underwhelming against Mexico, especially since he went up against Jorge Sanchez, the worst right back I've seen play. Yeah, I was really surprised with Damari Gray. I thought he would actually be one of the Jamaica's best players because for me, like, he was so good for Everton, and he got that assist against the United States. I thought he would do something, but dude, the guy has been terrible, as you said. This whole Jamaica team have really underperformed, to be honest with you guys. Even their win against Guatemala wasn't even that convincing, So, yeah, I mean, I just think for Jamaica, man, this is really, really bad. This is embarrassing. They were really honestly one of the favorites to win this Gold Cup. Look at Map, it says, for real? Yeah. So, like I said, my issue with Panama is they just don't score enough goals. That's kind of my problem there. I know they scored I know they won 4-0 against Qatar. It's Qatar, for crying out loud, guys. Qatar has been dreadful this Gold Cup. So, I don't really think you can read too much into that. So, yeah. Any other talking points you have with this game? All right. Well, on that note, guys, I think we're going to end here, guys. We're going to end here for now. So, like I said, guys, tomorrow is the final of the Gold Cup final. I'll try to watch it. Maybe we'll do a live reaction to the final. We'll see. I'm not sure we'll do it or not. And then maybe later today, guys, I may do a Wordle stream, maybe, potentially, to make up for not doing yesterday. So we'll have to see. And maybe I might do a Twitch stream as well. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, anyways, let me read some of your last couple of messages and I'll head out, guys. Mashal says, if they beat Panama, then we could say Mexico's back, providing they appoint the right manager. Disney says, peace, AD. Peace, man. Peace, peace, peace. All right. So I think that's going to be it for today's stream. So remember, guys, to like and subscribe if you're new on here. Comment down below your thoughts, comment section below. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below, guys, with these 2 matches. There could possibly be a member stream later today. I don't know if we will do or not. Kind of depends on our members. And we may potentially do one and everything. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to remember the notification bell to be notified whenever we go live. And how many likes did we reach in the stream? We reached 8 likes, guys. Yeah. And yeah, so you guys are kind of split on the poll. It's 3 all on the poll. So that's interesting there. Okay. Last message of the chat, then I will be heading out. Captain Falcon says, you still on vacation? Yes, I'm still on vacation. I think we're going to be returning back tomorrow. Or maybe, well, actually, I think we're going to return back tonight. So we'll be leaving tonight here and going back to my house tomorrow. So I'll be back home tomorrow, guys. I'll be back home tomorrow. So Mexico's not back. They will struggle in 2026 World Cup. It's still far away to say. We can't predict that yet. But let's see what they do in tomorrow's final. Because if Mexico win, then possibly they're back. But as I said, though, I think the best way to judge whether Mexico is back or not is depending on what happens in Copa America. I think that's the best way to assess. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.